Welcome to my art studio and welcome to my channel. And I'm just gonna do a quick little Halloween project to try to get a nice pumpkin with some glowing eyes inside. Just a very simple sketch done, and just take you through a couple things to learn on Procreate. So I made a layer right here that's just gonna be the sketch. That's just gonna be the different colors that I think I want to use for this project. Just went in here to the color wheel and chose a couple colors. I think orange is going to be obviously what I'm going to use here for a pumpkin, and then I just scratch in my colors right there just so I can have them right there for a color picker. That way I don't have to keep on coming back here. I can just simply go to the color picker right here and choose whatever orange I want. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out with this light orange right here, and then I'm going to add a layer on top of that, and then I'm just going to start coloring. So gotta play with the different sizes. 6B pencil. Actually, I did download this comic book sketcher a while ago. I might use that because it's very similar and it gets much broader strokes. So I'm gonna do that. All right, so let's just get the base down in here. I don't think I'm gonna try. I could hold it like that and then get a nice curve, and then adjust exactly where I want that curve to go. But I'm gonna just kind of try to color as if I'm coloring on a piece of paper. And I think I'm gonna color on the line underneath. I want that underneath. I want to see the lines that I made for myself here. Okay. Now there's a whole bunch of ways I could do that. I could highlight the pumpkin, close it out, and then drag in colors, but I want this to be more of an organic feel, so I'm gonna do it more organically. So let's see, I'm gonna lay down these colors also. They're gonna bleed into that. I'm just a little bit big. Okay. Nice thing about digital is I don't have to worry about going, like if I was drawing on paper, I have to be really careful about not coloring on these eyes, obviously, because I want to make those yellow, and I'd have to be very, very careful about that. So just gonna don't have to worry about that right now. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I am going to, I haven't figured out what I want for the green up there. I'm just gonna get a green, and then I'm gonna go to my value. I'm gonna darken that out. Let's see if I like that. Yeah, that's pretty saturated. Put that green right on there. We'll get there, I'll figure it out. Okay, now I'm going to add a layer, and I want to get this a darker color, and now I want to kind of just, define these little ridges that are going to be in the pumpkin. Okay, so what I'm doing right now is I am just putting, obviously, the darker colors around where those ridges of the pumpkin might go. And every once in a while I will use that tool because I want to be real careful about where I put this marker. See how I can manipulate that curve wherever I want it, and I want this curve to kind of cut into the pumpkin behind it. So I'm just going to manipulate it that way. All right. Now what I want to do as well is I want to blend. So I'm going to use the blender, but I'm going to choose the comic book sketcher, the same thing that I was using before, and I'm just going to blend these lines out. Now, what I could also do is I could merge this to that, layer 3 to layer 2, and then it would actually be blending both colors. But I think I'm just going to smear my color on top for now. Kind of cool, because I'm just making this up as I go. I just want to see if I can do kind of a cool little pumpkin scene. Okay. Smudger in Procreate is, in my opinion, one of the better tools. I think it's better than most drawing apps. I really love the smudger tool. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to keep both rigid lines. So, you know, where you see a rigid line, and then I'm trying to blend some of it. Not all of it like that. Oops. Not both sides. Because then you get boring in your drawing. You want some of them to be blurred and some of them to be nice crisp lines. All right, I think I need to come in with a little lighter, and let's see, my eraser might as well be the comic book sketcher also. Okay, I'm gonna come in with some yellower, yeah, that's good. Okay, so here's what I love about the blender. I'm going to put some yellow just kind of randomly here in places. And then I'm going to blend that into this same layer right here. I think I like that. All right. All right, I'm gonna come back to that. I want to go on a layer on top, and I want to choose my yellowest, and I'm going to start just putting the eyes over top. I'll start coloring those out. I haven't decided if I want to, oops, get off there. If I want to draw on my lines. I think I love inking, so I'll probably just get an ink or maybe just a dark pencil and draw out those lines, because I think I want, here, I'll go to the layer and show you. Where's my sketch layer? There's my sketch layer. I'm gonna go to black real quick. I'm gonna go to my 6B pencil. I want to kind of show, oops, that's pretty thick. I want to show like the back of the the back of the pumpkin part, you know. I want to show those parts, like wherever they would be. So if that side's showing, I'd like to show the inside of the nose. You know how you don't get a perfect cut when you're cutting pumpkin? I like to show all this stuff in the pumpkin. So I'm gonna probably come back in with a pencil and do that. All right, let's go back to my color. And let's finish this up. Again, I'm doing this a traditional way, meaning I could come in here and I could select all these shapes right here and fill it in. That's a lot faster, but I just, there's also a magic to, there's also something to it when you just color it the way you normally would. So I'm just gonna do that. I have a feeling I'm gonna have to look up a real pumpkin to get inspiration on how these oranges and everything are gonna look, you know, how they're actually gonna look, how they're actually supposed to look. When I teach art, which I'm doing right now, so since I'm not really doing a step-by-step teaching, I'm just kind of experimenting on camera with you, but when when I have a lesson plan and I'm actually teaching a lesson, I stress very heavily to use reference. Use reference as much as possible. The reason I say that is because I look at using reference as the same thing as an English teacher would enforce the alphabet on their students, because if you can't read and write with the proper, like if you don't understand how the letters work and how they go together and how they form words and how those words form sentences, if you don't understand all those basic stepping blocks, then you can't be eloquent. You can't be fluent in communicating. You can't, and then you can't create. That's how you create. Once you know the English language from those basic building blocks, then you take that and then you become a creator if you like to create or write poetry or write stories or whatever it is. Even if you're just talking to your friends or socializing, you now have a grasp of something, of the English language or of any language, and you're able to now use those basics for communication. That's the same thing in art. In art, if you don't understand, like if you're trying to draw a body, if you haven't used reference and learned the basics of the human body, then you're not going to be able to express it. Like, say, you're not going to be able to draw something in expression if you don't have those basic building blocks. So, and I'm talking about ABCs being in art being knowing the hand, knowing the arm, knowing the face, knowing the eyes, knowing how everything moves in three-dimensional space. That's stuff that you have to use reference for and have memorized and and once you get that all memorized in your head, then you can now use it as expression. Now you can, once you've memorized exactly how to draw a hand in all sorts of different ways, now when you want to show somebody holding a bow and arrow or a gun or something, then now you can compose that. Now you can illustrate that your own way, and it'll be yours. You'll illustrate it in your way. It won't look like somebody else's. So yes, use reference as much as possible, and do a mixture of reference, using somebody else's reference along with your own interpretation. Like, go use reference and then try it on your own. Try to create, then use reference and try to create. Constantly be going back and forth. But a lot of my students don't understand the importance of reference. They don't want to use reference. They think it's really a pain in the butt to have to go and find reference for something. But the reason that they can't draw it, so they come up to me all the time. Hey, I can't draw this person running or jumping up onto a horse or something like that. Well, how come you can't draw that? Well, I don't know how to draw it. Exactly. You haven't ever looked at a reference and tried drawing it. It's just like someone who's never studied the English language saying, hey, I can't I can't use words and I can't communicate to someone who's speaking English. Well, why not? Well, because I've never practiced it. I've never learned it. Exactly. You have to go and use reference and practice it. So that's making sense in my head. I hope it makes sense to you. All right, I'm going to shut up for a minute so I can fast forward most of this coloring on the video so that we can kind of get to the point here. I mean, already I think it's looking kind of cool, personally. But I don't know. We'll see. Definitely gonna have to look up some reference to see how a pumpkin, how these things right here, how these ridges look as the colors change. Because right now I'm just making it up. I'm just doing it from my own head, and unfortunately I don't have everything memorized. Okay, well, so I've gotten to this point here. I'm gonna go over now. I'm gonna bring back my, I'm gonna go on the top layer now. So I'm gonna make a layer on top of everything. I'm gonna go back to my studio pencil, my 6B pencil, and I'm gonna go to black. Oh yeah, I'm black. And now I'm going to figure out a line width. That'll probably work. And then I'm going to, now I'm just going to draw over this. I'm gonna, I think I like the way that I've colored. It's not perfect. Obviously, it's not exactly perfect, but I still need to get this part in here. I'll do it. Oops. But that's probably too thick of a line. Let's just undo all those. And let's see here. Let's go down a little bit. Go down a little bit more. Here, while I've got your attention here, let me show you something really quick. So you can use the slider. I was just above that line. Oops. I was just above that line right there. But you can use your slider to obviously choose the different size you want. But let's say I'm trying to get like 21%. And it's really hard to land on 21%, right? Well, you can bring your pencil out while you're holding the screen, and now it goes way less increments. The farther you hold it out, the less increments it does. So like, let's say I'm trying to get to 21%. Let's go to 20. I bring it out here. Then I can just drag it right up to 21% and leave it right there. Do I like 21%? I think I might actually like that also. So nice little trick with Procreate. Okay, so I'm going to just sketch my lines over here because I think I do like that. Here's something cool that I could do if I wanted to. So let's say I don't want the black lines. Let's say I want those to be orange lines. Well, I can choose my dark orange. I can choose whatever color I want, really. Let's go redder, let's go darker. And then I can put this layer on alpha lock right there. That means that it locks just these pixels right here. And then I like it airbrush because it's just a broad brush. And then I can just, whatever I color is only going to color that line. It's only gonna color whatever pixels are on that layer. So let's see, I'm gonna go back to black. And I can always come back and do that later. I'm gonna take it off alpha lock because now that I'm back in pencil, it won't let me draw anywhere except for right there, except for just where those pixels are. Oh, and I'm still in airbrush. So go back to 6B pencil, take it off of alpha lock. I love alpha lock, I use it quite a bit. It's a nice little clipping mask. It's a nice way to isolate just those pixels. One thing that is important to me to cover in this video is how to get the glowing effect with the eyes. So I want to show just how to get that glowing effect as best as possible. Now, unfortunately, I am far more interested right now in just the line work and how the colors look and all of that stuff. And I'm paying very little attention to the glowing because for me, as I'm just drawing, as long as you have a nice contrast from the orange pumpkins, the color of the orange pumpkins, to the yellow that's in the eyes. So as long as the orange is dark and the eyes are relatively light, they don't have to be ridiculously light. They just have to be they just have to have a stark contrast between the darkness in the orange. So right now I'm just focusing on getting those little divides in the oranges to look good, look like they are separated. I'm trying to kind of think about where light would be hitting the different sections. And then of course I'm focusing on, making the pumpkin look a little bit 3D, just putting the inside, just putting those inside shapes inside the mouth and the eyes and the nose, then coloring them a slightly different color. Now I did mention earlier in the video that I need to go and look at reference, and unfortunately, fortunately and unfortunately, I did go and look at reference, and this is my first time trying on coloring a pumpkin and doing a cute little Halloween video. So if I ever do this again, I will know from that point forward. But the mistake I did make was that the little sides inside the eyes are actually a very bright orange, not a yellow like that, but I don't think it's going to be a big deal. Now, I also, pictured this little scene to be at night, so putting in the night. And I also pictured these pumpkins sitting on just random grass and rocks and things like that. And I have a lot of different brushes that I'm just trying through here. But what I really wanted to do was draw blades of grass that I can go later on and put highlights on. So I don't really have a good footage of that, so I just decided to bring the footage in from Procreate and just show the time lapse for this portion of the video. So you can see real fast that I was trying to make a glowing eyes. You see that a couple times. I was trying to push the boundaries. How far can I make those eyes glow? Now, if you look at where we are right now, the orange is okay dark, but it's not dark enough, I don't think, to make those eyes and to make inside the pumpkin look orange enough. So we're gonna get there. I'm gonna make that happen. But first, of course, I have to get all the background stuff in, the rocks and the atmosphere, the clouds, the trees in the background. All that has to be there, because I'm picky. But ultimately, I wanted to just show how to make something glow, how to make light glow. So you can see the eyes kind of glowing up sometimes. And what I did there was I just played around with the different color blenders until I got the one that I like. So I kind of added a little bit of fuzz around the eyes to make it glow a little bit. But then as you can see, I realized, hey, I want to make this orangier. Like I want to make the orange darker so that my glowing yellow can contrast a little bit better. And so then, of course, I ended up with this as what you see here. And I hope you had a good time. I hope you had a fun time, and I hope you learned something. And please let me know what I need to do to make better videos. Let me know what I'm doing right in the comments below. This is a brand new channel, and I am learning as I go. But I really hope to create a magical place for my fans. I hope to gain fans in the first place, but I also hope to create a channel where you can come for just relaxation, learning, education, fun, all sorts of different things. I just hope to create a place where you can come and feel comfortable and have a good time. So thank you for watching my channel, and thank you for staying, because if you stayed this far, if you're hearing me say this right now, you've stayed long enough on my video to to watch the whole thing. So I really appreciate that, and you guys all have a great day. Bye.